All right, Sherry said, this is great. This is what I want you here for, babe. Okay, Sherry says, have you ever had a deal come across that the numbers and everything look good, but something in your gut says walk away and don't do it? You want to tell this one?
Are you talking about
Yeah, I am.
the apartments?
Yeah, do it. Go ahead.
So the first multifamily deal that Whitney and I were going to do was actually a bank foreclosure. And at the time, we didn't know any better. We didn't know dealing with banks was such a pain in the ass. You know, they had a property. It was on the REO list. We figured they wanted to get rid of it. Didn't figure it'd be that big of a deal, right? So we got it and we ran the numbers. And, we were working via a mentor and coaching program here, right? I mean, that's what we were doing.
Are you talking about the one on Buffett Mill? Don't tell that story.
Well,
tell the story. No, Sherry wants to know if you ever get a deal and the numbers look good, but something in your gut says walk away. And this is what I did on Buffett Mill. He offered me owner financing and I didn't want it.
Oh, gosh.
That deal.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's start fresh, okay?
Sorry.
Jason's telling a totally different story. We got stories for days. You do have a good story, baby, but you're going to have to save it because I want you to tell Sherry the deal about the apartments on Buffett Mill.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Sherry says, have you ever had a deal come across that the numbers and all look good, but something in your gut says walk away? And yes, that has happened. I told her there was an amazing story for this, and I'm surprised I haven't told this story before, but it's kind of embarrassing since I'm the creative financing, lease options, owner financing chick. Well, you go ahead. Now that you know which story to tell, you tell them what I messed up.
You weren't the seasoned veteran at the time that you were now.
Everybody was new at some point.
So this was after she'd already done a few deals and I got involved and, had started doing some things or whatever. But I was at home working because I work remotely a lot. And so I was at home working remotely for my corporate job, and Whitney had been to the gym. And so
when I used to go to the gym too, okay?
And so she comes home and she says, hey, guess what? She said, you know that quadplex that we rode by a couple of times and we said that it looked like it was vacant? She goes, guess what? I saw a guy there today and I stopped and it was the owner. And we worked out a deal. And she said, I didn't really have a contract that fit that. All I had was a residential contract.
Because you should never leave the house without a contract.
But she said, we made it work and we scratched out some stuff and everything's good. And he's going to do this. He's going to do that. He's going to do all this kind of stuff. Time out.
I was at the gym at like 6 o'clock in the morning. On my way home, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm out talking to a seller that has an apartment complex, empty, at 7 o'clock in the morning, in my gym clothes, sweaty, no makeup. So when y'all ask, what should I wear? What should I do? Go. Okay? I just want to set the mood for how this went down.
And so I'm sitting there, and I'm typing away, and she's actually in the hallway kind of talking to me, doing some other stuff. And so all of a sudden she says, yeah, she said, you know what? She said, the crazy thing is, she goes, he actually owner financed him, but, she goes, for some reason, deep down, I just didn't trust this guy. So I told him, we're not interested in owner financing. And I'm sitting there typing, and all of a sudden I hear that, and I just stopped. And I was like, maybe I didn't hear that right. So I said, hang on, he offered you owner financing and you turned it down. She goes, yeah, I just didn't feel good about this guy. He was kind of creepy. And I said, why on earth would you turn down owner financing?
I didn't like him.
And she said, well, he might do something with the shady or whatever. I said, all of the risk is on his side. He's going to transfer the title over to us. He's the one that has to be worried about us paying him, or he's going to have to foreclose on us. And I'm sitting there and I was like, oh my gosh. And she's like, and so she starts having that kind of, oh gosh, what did I do moment,
What
so
did I do?
We vowed.
Why did I do that?
We vowed right then, right there. We made a little pact. We didn't prick our fingers and do the blood thing on it. But
we did get married a couple months later.
So, we vowed right there we would never, ever, ever turn down owner financing again that had acceptable terms. Because again, what he offered was great. The reason Whitney told him no was
I didn't like him.
She just didn't really like the guy.
I just didn't like him.
So Sherry, yes, we have had that happen.
I could cry right now just thinking about that deal. Some of our friends ended up cashing him out like a year later, 9 months later.
Yeah, in about 9 months. Yep.
And I had it. I had it. It was right there in my hands. It was like, I fumbled. That's the only thing I can say is I screwed up.
So anyway, we have had that happen. We don't let that happen anymore. Okay. And you know, Whitney says all the time that I'm a very analytical person. I am. When I do deals,
I was right there with him. There wasn't any time to analyze it.
When I do deals, the emotions out of it's a business transaction for me, and it's all about the numbers. Numbers look good, I do the deal. If they don't, I'm not going to force a deal.
They looked good, but I was sitting there with him. I hadn't run any numbers.
All right, so
it was right in my honey hole. All right, we live and we learn, I reckon.